Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am General Lotz, and I'm coming at you with an impromptu review of Predator Killer of Killers. I had absolutely no intention of watching this movie. I saw the trailer, and it looked pretty crap. Well, a number of people contacted me about this movie, talking about it, and I got inspired to watch it. I didn't expect to actually finish it, though, but I turned it on, and it kept impressing me. So what we have here is an animated film released in 2025. Before I tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you what it isn't. It isn't garbage. It doesn't have lame lines, it doesn't have lame jokes, it doesn't have a musical number, you don't see the Predator tap dancing around. Instead, the movie is straightforward and to the point. It's got a lot of good action sequences, it's got some really cool stories in it, and it tells it well. Predator Killer of Killers, it's basically an anthology movie, but all the anthology storylines meet up at the very end. So you've got three basic stories that start out the movie. You've got the Viking story, the Japanese story, and the American in World War II story. Each character is introduced fairly quickly, and the Predator fights commence very quickly as well. The movie does not waste your time and uses its 90-minute runtime very, very wisely. The fights are well choreographed, the voice acting is really bloody good, and the writing is some of the most imaginative I've seen in this last half a decade. What we got here is a movie worth watching. I am completely surprised. In fact, this is being recorded after I finished it. I was that shocked that it was actually worth watching. It's really something special. Like, I did not expect there to be a Predator anything this good in this time period in which we live in. What we've got with Predator Killer of Killers is a very low frame rate animated movie that definitely has a lot of anime influences to it. The art style isn't really anime, but the logic and fight choreography is. You've got, characters taking blows that really should shatter every bone in their body, but if you just use anime logic, then it makes sense. Now, there's going to be spoilers all throughout. So since this is the last bit of the non-spoiler segment, just so you know, keep in mind the frame rate is very low. If you suffer from motion sickness, it might be kind of hard to watch. The graphics really are PS1 in quality, but I don't care. If you're on the fence about watching this movie, don't be. Just watch it. There's evidently a pretty big fan response for this. Evidently, a lot of people that like Predator stuff really enjoy this kind of really enjoy this movie, and I do too. I love it. I love it a lot. I think this is great. It's fucking great. It's the first good Predator thing since 2010. So the first story that we have is the Viking story, and what we got here is a story of revenge. The main Viking is a female. Yeah, we could say girl boss, and yeah, she's way stronger than she really should be, but whatever. She doesn't put down any of the male characters, which is very good. And the male characters aren't made to look foolish so that she looks stronger. She's strong in her own right, really way too strong than she should be in real life. Also, the Viking geography's all off. For some reason, she says she's like the Jarl of the Lake Ladoga clan, but that's in Finland, and Finland I don't think is really considered a Viking area, but whatever. They probably picked Ladoga because it sounded cool. And so basically, the first story really kind of sets the tone of the other stories, kind of. Basically, she wants to get revenge on a rival Jarl, and that's because the rival Jarl made her kill her own father, and it's really good stuff. What'll happen is when these stories begin, there's usually going to be some kind of revenge plot, and then the revenge plot is completed, and then the Predator attacks because that's the most worthy of prey. Anyway, the first story ends when the female Jarl kills a Predator that's like 8 feet tall. She shouldn't really be able to do that, but she does use her brain, and she's able to defeat him. But then she gets captured by the Predator. Oh dear. The second story is a Japanese story. Now, people have been begging for a samurai versus Predator story, and we finally get it. There's minimal dialogue in this story as well. Essentially, you've got these two brothers that are rivals for the throne of Shogun. One of the brothers wounds one of the others, and the wounded brother decides to become a ninja. and then they end up fighting, and then once the fight is over, the Predator attacks, and then at the end of the story, the two brothers come together to defeat the Predator, but the other brother succumbs to his wounds, the one that basically became the Shogun. Well, the ninja brother ends up getting captured by the Predator. Oh dear. Then we cut to 1942, where we've got a Texan fighter pilot that has to fight a Predator starship. He and his Texan Aces squadron has a pretty cool air battle. It's completely implausible that such a thing like that could ever happen. He actually gets out on the wing of his own plane. Yeah, that's not happening, but whatever. They're fighting the Vichy French. Also, I don't think the Vichy French ever really attacked the U.S. Navy, but I could be misremembering. The air battle's pretty cool. There's no revenge plot in this. It's just, you know, good old-fashioned Texas boy going up against evil space aliens. He, of course, ends up defeating the Predator starship, and then he gets captured by the Predator. And so at the very end of the movie, all three protagonists are brought together to fight in an arena. This is straight out of the Predator 3, or the original Predator 3 script. Although in that script, it was originally supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny Glover, and probably a character made up for the new movie. Well, so they're all there. The, I guess, king of the Predators, or just like a Predator leader, is like, you three must fight each other. And yes, there's a cameo from the Predator 2 gun, although it is not used on a Predator. All three of the characters can't actually talk to each other, but they get these explosive collars put on them so they can both understand the King Predator and also they act as bombs as well if they don't do what they're told. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. I think there was a rewrite at the end of this movie because initially they're supposed to fight and kill each other, and they can't talk to each other. So the first thing is the Viking woman decides to try to kill everyone. The Japanese guy wants to work with the Texan guy, and that's cool. What ends up happening, though, is the Predators unleash a giant Predator monster that they then have to work together to fight against. And so, like, wait a minute, are they supposed to kill each other or fight the monster? I'm not really sure how that's supposed to go. I think it would have been better if they were just supposed to fight the monster. I get that this is like Killer of Killers, and the Predators were getting all the mightiest warriors together to fight, but at the same time, it seems like they kind of turned their back on the whole, like, kill each other thing. Now, if they either kill each other or defeat the monster or whatever, they're supposed to fight the King Predator. Now, realistically, none of them should be even close to being able to defeat the King Predator, but whatever. What ends up happening is the Texan dude gets eaten by the Predator monster, but he doesn't immediately die. It's kind of convenient that the Predator monster just swallows him instead of chewing him up. Well, anyway, the Viking woman and the Japanese dude are able to slice up the Predator monster, and it's hauled away. Whereupon the Texan dude is able to break out, shut off the collars, and go to a Predator spacecraft that for some reason he thinks he can fly. I'm not really sure a Wildcat it's not like a Skyhopper and a T-64 X-Wing. That doesn't work. He wouldn't even know. Even if he could fly the alien spacecraft, there's really no way he would know how to astronavigate. But whatever. There's a kind of a rock-off with the King Predator. That King Predator has to be holding back so much, it's not even funny. But the King Predator holds back so our protagonist can't escape. The Viking woman actually, theoretically, sacrifices her life to cut a chain that's holding down the alien spacecraft. But we find out that that's not what actually happens later in the movie. So what happens is this. Our two major protagonists, the Texan dude and the Japanese guy, are able to escape with the alien spacecraft, and then the Predator King, who survives, is all like, let the hunt begin. And then after that, we see the Viking woman getting frozen, and we see this giant cryo chamber with these mighty human warriors, and we get a bit of a stinger where we see the female character from Prey in one of those cryo chambers as well. And then after that, we fade to black. This is an excellent animated movie that's a perfect lead-in to a Predator TV show where the King Predator, he's like the main villain. He's trying to capture our two protagonists. Our two protagonists are trying to find the way home. They encounter other human characters. It'd be awesome. This is a great movie. I loved it. I like that story. I want to see a TV show with this as the pilot. I can see why some people might hate it, but for me personally, I loved every bloody minute of it. I was so surprised. I was ready to hate it. I was ready to dislike it. I did not come into this movie wanting to like it at all, but it was good. I like the fact that, like, the American guy is from Texas and was part of a squadron of Texans. I like the fact that, you know, it's just, you have disparate characters learning to work together, and they did all this in a 90-minute movie. They didn't waste your time. There are so many animated movies where they waste your bloody time. The Predator fights were really good. It's a movie worth watching. It really gets the General Lotz Alpha Prime seal of approval. And I just hope that this turns into a TV show, because it'd be so good. It feels like this is something from like the 90s. There's more violence than what you'd get in the 90s, but man, this is what we've been needing for years with the Predator franchise. I am General Lotz, and I'm going to wish you good Predator Concrete Jungle and good Predator Cold War, or whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and please consider leaving a like or a comment, as the algorithm desires your soul. And I want to thank all those fans who have supported this channel, both past and present.